Hey, what's up, everyone? Mike with Imperial Tropicals here. Thank God it's Friday. So we had another busy week. So, and it's been a lot hotter this week. The Florida summer is here. So give it a few minutes. Hey, what's up, Ahmad? Man, I tell you what, the Imperial Tropicals Fish Group is, man, those people are funny. I know a lot of them will be on today. We had several people that
See you
chased
Monday.
down. All right, see you Monday. We had several people chase down the UPS trucks this week to get their fish. So that was funny. Joseph started it, and he wanted to get the fish off the truck as soon as possible. So he followed the UPS truck around his neighborhood and did a citizens pullover where he pulled the UPS truck over and got his box of fish. Um, so that was great. So enjoyed the talking fish video again this week. Love it. Hey, what's up, Rebecca? So what did we do? Yep, Julie also chased down her fish. So I think we started a trend of not wanting the fish to sit on the truck any longer than necessary. Hey, what's up, Raymond? So the good news this week is we got the endo order in. My friend from Indonesia shipped in the fish. They came in yesterday. Um, Guy who works with us took the trip down to Miami to pick them up, and he got here probably around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, and took us about an hour and a half to put everything up. Overall, the shipment did very well. One thing I was disappointed about was they did not ship my wild rainbows. Um, my friend in Indonesia is the one I went collecting with. He has the wild caught rainbows at his facility set up already in breeding tanks, and he was out of the country actually on another collecting trip when his crew shipped the fish off. So he said we just missed it. So um, I told him just to keep them until my next order, and then on the next order I will have them. So um, I was just catching some of the comments. David Patton said he chased down his UPS truck also. So hey, we label the boxes live fish, blazing letters, so people know when they handle the box it's live fish. 90 over 90% of the drivers care, and they actually will deliver them early. Like a lot of our customers, they know their driver very well. Whenever they see the live fish, box, they change their route that morning to get them there earlier. So we really appreciate all the delivery people out there that care about the animals, and I also appreciate the customers that go above and beyond. I could tell you a lot of good stories about how UPS or the post office failed to deliver the package, and the customer actually will drive a long ways. I've had someone drive over an hour to the hub where the fish are at, so they don't have to sit through the weekend or to the next day. So um, once it leaves our facility, we don't have much control over the package. So I appreciate the people that go above and beyond to make sure that they get the fish in a timely manner. So Tom Collins, what's up? He's working from 6:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Wow, man, that is a long day. Jeez, that's some good overtime right there. Wow. So Tom, hopefully it goes good for you and doesn't drag on. That's the worst thing. That's one good thing about working here is we do not have days that drag out. Like by the end of the week, everybody here will agree. Like, wow, that was a fast week because there's not a lot of downtime for us. I would say Thursdays, not as busy, but Same with Friday because we're only shipping overnight packages out typically on Friday and Thursday, but it helps the work week when it's busy. So we appreciate busy. So I don't know that I ever had a week where it was like, man, this week's just dragging on. Um, so we got the endo fish in yesterday, and like I said, everything went really well. Actually, let me go in there and get a list. I'll read off some of the stuff that we got. Um, we didn't get everything that we wanted, but we did get most of the fish that we had requested. So let me get the list and I'll read off. Not a lot of African fish, so you African cichlid keepers, you know, not really a lot of fish that you guys would want because they don't. We have better Africans than what is bred overseas, especially in Asia. I could say Germany's got some really nice Africans, but for the most part, we are the authority for African cichlids. So we did bring in. I'm trying to find the list now. We did bring in a lot of South American fish, a few rainbow types. I got the list right here. All right, come out here and I'll read some of these off to you. And really, the whole order was based on me getting the wild caught rainbows. So I was, like I said, there was a few things though that we needed that we got. Dang, a mod with the donation, man. I appreciate that every week, man. You guys support me, and I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so first on the list is redback ampa scalare angels. So this is a wild type angel that has been tank raised, and they were on the cover of the Amazonas magazine a while back. And the wild type, they get a lot of red on their head. So at this size that we have, you don't see the red. They look more like standard wild type scalares with longer fins. So I was really impressed with the way they look. Beautiful fish. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell any of them or keep them back to grow up for breeders. I have a I have a fish problem, people. So whenever I see a really cool new fish, it's like, man, do we want to sell them or do we want to grow them up and breed them? So I haven't decided on that. We got a bag of clown loaches, 2 inch, and we also got some bigger clown loaches. They're probably about 6 to 8 inches. They're big clown loaches. So both of those will be up for sale. We brought in some roseline sharks, Denisani barbs. Um, so that's a normal stocked item for us, but I got some from my friend. So I also got some birchers, some ornate birchers, the polyipterus. Um, and the ornates are the ones that I posted a picture of them when I was in Indonesia on the Facebook fish group page. So I'm super excited about those guys. Those will also be up for sale. Um, we got some more frontosas in. Even though I breed them, I don't have them ready. But my friend is breeding the Mbemwe frontosas, so we brought in some small ones of those guys. They're a little bit pricey, but they are one of the nicer strains of frontosa that come from the wild. So super excited about those. We got some Pandageras in, which those are a regularly stocked item for us. The big thing on the shipment was the L46 zebra plecos. We brought in 50 of those guys. Do y'all know how much 50 zebra plecos cost? Wow, that's scary. Every time I order them from my friend, I am just super stressed out. I mean, I'm like, man, what if they don't make it? What if the shipment gets delayed? And so it's a super stressful ordeal. But they individually bag each one of those guys, and they came in looking great. So super excited about the L46s. So they are unfortunately, and most of those fish are in the room that I don't get a signal in. So maybe I will take the time to shoot a video that's not live and post it up on our Facebook page for everybody to see the fish. Um, so I'm gonna answer some of these questions and I'll get back to what we brought in. So, um, dang, hold on. I'm gonna try to go through them as quick as I can. All right. So, Allie, what's up? Gary, Larry, Joseph's on. He's just bragging about you chasing down the UPS beach. Cichlid. So good dollars, Mason. Man, I appreciate that, dude. That's I still can't get over it. People actually that care about us and support us like that, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. House of Buckets, happy Friday. Jack in the house. Vito Joseph says he has the UPS truck sitting in front of his house now. Vito just got back from Paris and traveling around Germany. He was on the live feed last Friday while he was over in Europe. So Vito messaged me actually during the live feed about wanting to see the Red Empress. So he's got some really nice Red Empress, and I think he got a Turkish. Uh, Hey, I also want to say, oh, Vito donated some money too. Vito, man, dude, I appreciate that, man. I also want to say this, and I'm a little bit embarrassed about it, but I'm going to say it anyways. All right, this is for the people on the Imperial group page on Facebook. I don't do anything different for your shipments, and I'm sorry that we there's a gap there. All right, so when the orders come in, personally, I do not see the orders. Jacob and the pack out crew and Rochelle, when the orders come in, they process them. So I wanted you to know that the fish that you get are no different than everybody else's fish. Which is a compliment to the packing crew that they do a great job packing and the fish are all like great tip top shape. But I'd like to get to the point one day where I know that yeah, they're on the fish group page. So we don't do anything different. It's the same if Joe from, I don't want to say New Jersey because we got a Joe in New Jersey. Joe from California orders. We treat them all the same. So so I knew Vito was going to order, but I had nothing to do with his order. They Angie pulled the fish, packed the fish, and shipped them out. So when you do order, everybody gets treated the same, and we try to send only top-notch fish. So Steve Fuller wants to come fix our internet problem. Hey, email me, email me. Lone Wolf wants to see the Dovai. I showed them off last. Well, maybe I didn't show them last Friday. If I get time, I'll swing by and show you the Dovai. So you were the first one to comment on what fish you wanted to see. So I'll try to swing in there and show the Dovai. It's really hot in those rooms today. I don't know how long my camera will hold up in those rooms with the heat, but I'll try my best. Nashad, what's up? Nashad, my good friend from Chicago. Francis Turi, hello. Um, Man, I'm trying to get through all these questions. They're coming in fast. Will Bonner says Dave and Vito running the chat. Top Secret Aquatic. What's up, everyone? Ian Broom, what's up? King Harrison asked to see the red spotted severums. As long as they're not in my dead spot, I'll show you the red spotted. I need to check with Joe. I think they're in Joe's room, but they could have very well put them in Guy's room, which is a dead spot for me with the internet. So um, let me get some of these. George says he needs to get some more guppies. You need to get some cichlids in there for those guppies. There's Deskin's guessing on the price of the bag of zebras, and those come in one bag. They're individually packed, one bag. Larry, that's pretty pretty close on the cost. So big money, man. Tom Gooley, our good friend. What's up, Tom? All right. Gary's asking what size the fronts are. The Mbimbe's are, I would say, inch and a half. You know, close to 2 inches, but they're pretty small. Um, you know, I did bring in some bigger Burundis because I never have bigger Burundis available, and I get asked for them a lot. So we did bring in some Burundis that are about 5 inches. So those will be going up also. But the Mbimbe's are more like inch and a half. Sean Ellis is asking, how are your big-headed fish doing? Which fish? Gotta give me a name. I got a bunch of big-headed fish. We got some flower horns, some buffalo head cichlids. Francis Turi, hello. Jack says he'd love to see. Jack says I'm breaking up. Hopefully I'm not. Tell me if it starts breaking up. Oh, he's asking about Will's fish, the big-headed one. Yeah. So Will Bonner had a. We're thinking it's a parasite. I'm thinking it's hexamida, but it could be flukes. I know a couple people mentioned it might be flukes, but what I saw with your trout, your predator, the way he's acting in the tank, I think the medication's working and it's causing a lot of irritation. You know, it's kind of like putting alcohol on a wound. It's going to burn that fish, and the parasites are going to go crazy. A lot of breeders here and around the world, they will do preventative treatments quarterly. You know, every few months, they might run a round of Metro, Nizodol through their fish because it's a very harmless treatment, just to keep them clean. So we'll think about that in the future. Uh, you know, your fish will benefit long term. You know, from every 3 or 4 months running some kind of dewormer or internal treatment on those fish. You know. All right. So I've seen somebody else donated. So let me get down there to it. Uh, Marcio Gonzalez asking, do the red zebras and the males and females same color? On the Mabunas, the red zebras, the males will have a little bit more intense color than the females, but it's hard to tell when they're like 2 inches. Usually at 3 inches, the males will get a little bit more brighter colors than the females. All right. Um, all right. Every time a comment comes in, it pops it all the way down the bottom, so I got to scroll back up. Marcio, he's from Monterrey, Mexico. I'm gonna come and see you one day. Um, I was just talking to my good friend Don Danko he's the president of the Ohio Cichlid Association. He actually was in Florida this week, and he came by and we spent a long time together yesterday, showing him around the farm and letting him take bird pictures and stuff like that. And he's been to Mexico a bunch of times, and he was telling me how enjoyable it was. So I'm definitely going to be coming to Mexico to do some collecting. Um, Looking forward to it. Will gave us an update on his fish. He says it's alive but not doing well. So hopefully he pulls through. Will. Larry says the screen keeps freezing up. Hopefully it's not right now. So Tyler is watching from Canada. Nice. Tyler, if you go to the website, let us know what you think. It's supposed to welcome you from Canada on our website because we are now shipping into Canada. We have, a couple of orders every week going into Canada. We haven't really been pushing it because we're kind of testing the waters for shipping because since it's considered international. But we've shipped a lot of shipments already, and we've had zero problems. So let us know what you think about the website. Sean, what's up? Chad Blockinger has a 4-inch starry night and a 5-inch Z-Rock coming in today. Cool, man. You'll like both of those fish. I hope they're not going in the same tank. I seen a post up on the group page about bleaker eyes and or a peacock and hap tank, and everybody, several people were posting up pictures of it, and they said they're doing fine. And I hope you continue to have that kind of success. But um, as a breeder of both of those fish, I cannot, with a good conscience, recommend keeping bleaker eye with peacocks and haps. Okay, I know they look really cool together, but at some point, somebody's going to lose the fight, and the bleaker eye gets big enough, he'll probably be the winner. If he's not, then he will lose. So, a couple more questions. Dang, man, they're coming in fast. Nick C's asking about the red spotted also. So we'll try to get those. Vito's getting 2 10-gallon tanks right now. Red German, the German Reds. I can show you the breeders. We don't actually have any for sale right now. All growing up in the pond. So Tom's asking about the black. I think he's talking about black orange lithobates and also the Jolly Reef. I'll try. That room's really. Well, actually, no, that room, we took the plastic off. So as long as Angie's here, I'll get her to walk in there and help me net them up. What's up, Miguel? Larry's wanting to see the mulattoes that we got in. I actually netted them up yesterday, and they don't have any color yet. I mean, a little bit on the males, but they look like juvies. So those are a long ways from being ready. That's just a new group that we brought in actually like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Also, I told everybody last week that albino red empress are not for sale. Those are my breeders. I'm working on it, trying to get them ready. I wasn't even going to show them off, but everybody was asking to see them. And right after the live feed, I probably had 4 or 5 emails. I want to buy the red empress. I want to buy the red. Well, they're not ready yet. I wish, because they're a really nice fish, but we are working on. That's why sometimes I don't even like showing off sometimes the new fish that are not ready because it kind of gets people anxious for some of them. So, um, but it's the same way with the Molotos. Crop up, eat by intimate. Wow, that's a powerful question. Crop up. Yes, you can ask a question. Oh, let me get this screen back right. He says, I'm sad when I ask the question, but why do some Caucasians not like dark skinned people? Well, in my world, it's not acceptable. We all bleed the same. I love everyone. In fact, I really enjoy meeting people from all over the world. So if you do meet somebody that way, then they're still living back in the dark ages because that's not a good way to be. So I don't know if you're asking a serious question or not, but on a serious note, we should love everyone. There's no, I'm colorblind. All right, I love everyone. So hopefully that was a serious question. We weren't joking. So Crank 1469 wants some Gramodes. We actually used to breed them, and I have a good friend. I actually went and visited his facility earlier this week, and he is breeding them. So I'm hoping the Gramodes will have some. Um, Charlie Tango's asking about the electric blue rams. What temperature? We like them at 82 degrees. It seems like 80, you'll get some breeding, but if you really want them to breed, they like it hot. So 82 degrees seems to be really good. Tom Gooley's thanking us for the donation to his local aquarium club. He said the event was a tremendous success. It lasted 9.5 hours. Wow, that is great. Jermaine's telling everybody to hit that like button. Keep on them. Duke City Aquarium says he got his order yesterday. He appreciates the good packing and the quality of the fish. Love hearing the feedback, man. That brings us pleasure every day that we come to work and we open up the emails and we see people that took the time to comment that, man, I appreciate the quality because, it just, makes up for some of the more difficult ones, like, I would say we've been very fortunate 95% of the people on a weekly basis in the fish hobby that we deal with are just such a pleasure, but we have a few that are very, very difficult. And they, I don't lose sleep about them anymore. We deal with them and, try to make them happy. And if they're not happy, usually we refund them and tell them to please take their business elsewhere. But we don't have to do that very often. So we appreciate, when people take the time to send us an email when there was not a problem, when everything was great. So we do appreciate that. And the feedback is important. The feedback on Google is important. So go to our Google business page and leave us a feedback. Go to the Facebook page, leave us a feedback. Go to our website and on the product description, leave a feedback. Let other people know, that hey, that was a great shipment, great fish. That feedback's important to us. Very, very important. All right. Joseph said he donated. Don't scroll. I'll get to it, Joseph, man. I appreciate that. Really do. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody at the aquatic experience this year, right in Joseph's backyard. Andy's asking how many green terras can I have in a 100-gallon tank? So it really depends on what your long-term goal is. If you're growing them out, you could fit 10 of them in there, no problem. They'll grow fast. But at some point, you will have to limit yourself. And green terrors, when they pair off, could be very aggressive. So, I've seen where a pair will take over a tank of that size. So it really depends on, what your long-term goal is. But, you can have 10 of them in there for until they get 4 or 5 inches. And then at some point, if you want them to keep growing and getting bigger and nicer, then you're going to have to make a tough decision. All right, so Mabuna Marcus is asking what's the temp today. I would say it's in the 82, 84, somewhere around there. But it's only going to get hotter. It's been decent this morning, but that's outside. The greenhouse is well over 100 degrees. All right. Wicked Boss wants to see the Eureka Reds. I think I showed them off last Friday, but maybe I didn't. I got a new. I don't want to say a new strain of Eurekas. We've been selectively breeding those guys for several generations now, and the strain is looking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Crop Up Entertainment by Intimate. I think he is, what is that called? Trolling us because now he's asking if he can eat them. So, whatever. Steve Fuller, what's that email, Mike? It's the Imperial Tropicals at gmail.com. If you go to our website, it's the same email. Use that contact page there, and the email will go right to us. Yeah, Crop Up Entertainment. He's done lost his mind. All right, so Chemo Allen wants to see the difference between a dominant and a subdominant dragon blood. I could do that. I could do that. Is it too early to set up? Miguel's asking, is it too early to set up an appointment for August? No, you could schedule several months out. So sooner the better. Crop Up ET, me too, colorblind, serious question. Okay, well, maybe he's not trolling us. We'll see. Fountains Aquatics wants to see some nice OBs. We actually sold our last seller OB this week. So we have no more inside for sale. I can show you the breeders. So once I get time, I'll head over there. A couple more questions, and then I'm going to show you some OBs and some other fish. Mark Gonzaga's made it. Happy Friday. Leah Dodds getting 4 1,000-liter grow-out drums for fry. Perfect. That's the way to do it. David Patton donated $10. He wants to see the Traverse that I showed off last week. Actually, no, it was in a video that Wild Fish Tanks did. Guys, have y'all seen that video? Over 130,000 views in 1 week. The dude does a phenomenal job making YouTube videos, and he's got a great personality, much better personality than I have in front of the camera. But he put up a video of a tour that he did at our facility, and the video has went viral, 130,000 views in just over a week. So really blown away by that. So all right, so crop up. ET says he's not trolling. Okay, cool, man. Glad you're not. Um, Joseph's asking, is it possible to grow the Petrus senodontus, the Senodontus petricolas out bigger before we send them? They grow really slow, really slow. So it's hard to get them to a bigger size. We are growing them out because I ended up buying them from a breeder. I bought 300 of them, and they are growing just really slow. And usually by the time I sell them out, they've grown a little bit, but they sell really fast. So possibly in the future we could set some to the side to grow up, but they grow really slow, and we don't breed the petricolas in house. It's actually the Lucipentis, but the fish grows really slow, Joseph. So everybody's commenting on Wild Fish Tanks video. That was great. Mark is asking about ruby reds. So we brought some in a few weeks ago, and we did not have very many. They were really big. They were really nice. So we set them up for our next breeding stock. So I'll have to check with Angie on how long the next pond of ruby reds are. But the fish are growing really fast right now in this weather. So that's the good news. So this summer, I think a lot of that stuff is going to be available. Green Rangers asking about the Blair Eye. If I go in that room, I will show them. Mr. Savage is, what do I think about the black band hap? I love them. I think they're awesome, and I'm hoping to carry those and others in the future. All right. I just want a show tank from my living room. Thanks for taking the time to answer my questions, and greetings from New Orleans. Love New Orleans. I was actually there earlier this year. I took the family out there. Took the mother-in-law. She wanted to go to New Orleans. She actually has cancer, and we wanted to take her on a trip, and we took her to New Orleans, of all places. That's where she wanted to go, so that's where we went. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to look away from the chat because I got to net up some fish. All right, I'm gonna go in here and show you guys the dragon blood, the difference between the dominant and the subdominant. So let me flip this screen around and show you guys the DBs. All right. Before I net them, you can see we keep pipes in the tank, and that kind of gives them a good hiding spot. Now this is males and females, and there's a lot of stunners in this tank. So, and they're all hiding back there behind that filter. So let me see if I can shoo them out. It's really hard to do this with one hand, but I will do the best I can without dropping the camera. All right. So here we go. All right, these guys just got moved pretty recently, so what I'm going to show you is a couple of the stunners that we would consider dominant. And there's actually more dominant than subdominant in this particular tank. So that would be considered a dominant. Very vibrant colors. You can see the red coming out in the fish. You can see that guy. And then it's actually kind of hard to find a subdominant, but this would probably be a subdominant right here. Still great colors, but he's on the lower end of the pecking order. It's probably just size difference, you know. This guy's a little bit smaller than most of the other males in there. but he looks still really nice. So, you know, so I had to put the camera in front of the AC. My phone overheated, guys. So sorry about that, but that's the problem. The greenhouse is so hot. So, man, we were on a roll. Got into the fish room, but my phone overheats. Last year, I ended up buying the iPhone 10 because I thought it would be better, maybe not overheat like the 7 was, but pretty obvious that it's still too hot in these greenhouses in the afternoon. So somebody had recommended doing a ice pack on the stabilizer, and I think that's what I'm going to try next Friday. So I'll find a way to strap a ice pack onto the handle of my stabilizer, and hopefully that, you know, keeps it from um, overheating. So, all right, I'm gonna go over some more of the fish real quick that we brought in from Indo because I did not get to tell them all earlier. Ed Stewart from the Netherlands, what's up? Giovanni said the same thing. He said ice pack, but I'm serious, man. It's frustrating, you know. I go into these rooms and I wasn't in that room 5 minutes and the phone overheated. So it's pretty aggravating. All right, so I'm gonna go over some more of the fish that we brought in from Indo. So we brought in some dwarf puffers. These are tank raised, and we get asked about puffer fish all the time. And my friend over there is breeding them, and he's like, "Man, you need to bring some in and breed them there in Florida." So we're actually we're going to sell some, and we're going to save some back for breeders. Told you guys about the L46s. We brought in some Cory cats, some Sturbys, pandas. We did bring in some super blue Carry tetras, so I'm excited about those guys. They were good size too, so I think they're gonna be nice. Um, oh, another hot fish, the albino Hecali. We brought in 30 of them. Mike Bernard was asking me, he's like, "Are you gonna save these back to breed, or are you going to sell them?" I think I'm gonna sell them. All right, and it's been one of my bucket list fish ever since the albino Hecali came out, maybe like 2 years ago. That was the first time I had seen the fish personally online. It's a I love the Hecali. The fins, the trailers that they get, and the albino are spectacular. So we're probably going to end up selling the ones we have, and then on my next shipment, I'm hoping to get some bigger guys in that I will breed. So the ones we brought in are, I would say they're close to 3 inches. Let's see what they listed them at. They listed them at 2 inch, but they're more like 2.5, almost 3. Um, Brought in some tank raised Bruminos, some tank raised Cardinals, some Galaxy Razaboras. Brought those in. Those are always asked for a lot. They're not easy to take care of when we first receive them, but so far they're looking really nice. So I'm excited about the Galaxy Razaboras. We also brought in some Scarlet Batis. So one of my favorite fish. I had brought them in many times in the past. In fact, I bred them for a little while, but did not have much success with them. So we brought in some Scarlet Batis. And if you guys don't know what those are, they're phenomenal little nano fish. Phenomenal. Um, so, all right, I'm going to answer some of these questions. And then after the phone cools down, I'll try to go into some of these other rooms that maybe are not quite as hot. So, um, so Wicked Boss is asking how hot the water is if it's 100 degrees inside. Water temps are right around 80 degrees. So we have fresh water pumping in the room that is 71 degrees. So the water going in is 71, and it's the air temperature in the middle of the day. The air temperature gets really hot, and it keeps the water temps up too. But because we're pumping fresh water into the tanks, it helps keep it from getting too hot. So if we turn the water off, the water would heat up a lot during the day. I don't think it would get to 100. I don't even know that it would get to 90. Probably would get to the high 80s if I turn the water off, but the water going in helps keep it from fluctuating. And it does the opposite at night. So when the temperatures drop at night, say it gets down to 60 at night, it keeps the temperature maybe down. It only drops a few degrees. I say a 5 degree swing is my swing in the vats. Jermaine's asking about the Mbembe's. We just got them in yesterday. We are breeding some, but mine are actually growing up for the next generation of breeders. So I brought in some Mbembe's yesterday, and they should be available next week. Keep it fishy says get some more pistos. I do. I plan on getting some more pistos. David Patton's asking if we could put a new fish button on the website. So we do new arrivals. So there is a new arrival button on the website, and when they put up a new arrival, it should be in that page. It would be nice to have it more visual. So maybe that's something on the website. Rebecca from our Imperial group page had a great idea that you know I hadn't thought of, and we need to rebuild our website to where it's easier to find the size of the fish. So, like if you got a peacock and hap tank and you're wanting 4 to 5 inch peacocks, instead of having to go to each listing to look at the size, it would be nice to have a search option to filter out the sizes. So, Vito says he must be eating lunch, the UPS driver. Joseph's asking if there's any chlorine in our water. No, we have straight well water. It comes from the aquifer, so there's no chemicals in our water, which is a big advantage because if we had to dechlorinate that much water, it would be a major feat. So no, we are fortunate that we are not on city water. Larry's asking what's the name of that video, the wild fish. Um, Man, it's wild fish tanks. I think wild fish tanks. Let me see. I had it up on my page. So this is his page. Let me flip the screen. Um, wild fish tanks. So he put the video out May 5th, and it's got 134,000 views. Let me scroll back. Um, Larry's asking about showing my own tank. Whew. All right, I set the tank up. Beautiful planted tank, rainbows, everything was going good. And then the wife said that she wanted to paint and she wanted to redo the baseboards. Notice I said she. So I ended up having to move all the fish out. Right now, my tank has about 6 inches of water, keeping the plants moist. But she did the baseboard, redid the baseboards, and caulked it, and the tank is ready to go back against the wall. So I will be setting it back up. So David Patton's asking for the link um, for that Facebook or the YouTube video. Scott's asking about when some of our out of stock rainbows will be coming back. I know Joe is breeding them like crazy. It's really just a waiting game on for them to be big enough. So email us if you tell us what types you're looking for. It might be possible for us to break off some, but the only problem is they might be fry. All right, 1 inch fish. On the rainbows, we like to get them to 2 to 3 inches, so they do have color. But email us which types you're wanting, and I'll talk to Joe and or Rochelle can, and we could try to find out if the particular one you're looking at is available. All right. Ahmad sent me a friendly reminder. This is directed towards the Facebook group page. Okay, if you're not on it, please join it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great. It's a great community, and it really turned out thanks to Joseph, who helped me start it because I've been talking about it for 2 years. Joseph emailed me enough on how to set up a tank. He was sending me about 6 emails a day, and I was trying to explain it to him the best I could. But sometimes, Joseph, we need pictures and videos of how to do it. So Joseph was the inspiration for us setting up the group help page, and Joseph now has his tank looking spectacular, and he's an expert fish keeper. And he also has a second tank that we're still waiting on it, Joseph. I know you've had the tank for several weeks now, and we're waiting. We're waiting. And I think it would, your OB is wanting to stretch out a little bit more so he doesn't take over half your tank. So we're waiting. But join the Facebook group page. Get to meet Joseph, Vito, Will, Ahmad, Oliver, Rebecca, Julie. I know I missed a lot of people that are very active on the page, but um, join the page. It's a lot of fun. And but Ahmad gave me a friendly reminder that we are making some changes. Okay, I should say changes. We're making some additions. Okay, in the beginning, I said that we would have guest moderators on the page to kind of make it fun. So I don't want to say who, when, or how, but real soon I'm going to post something on the group page. Let's just say today. Go and put the pressure on me. Today I will post something on what I'm thinking about doing with the guest mods, and you guys give me some feedback. David Patton's asking for a link to the group Facebook group page. If somebody could do that for me, I can't, but if you guys can, or after the video's over, somebody posted up on the comment section. But it's Imperial Tropicals Fish Keepers Facebook page. So Imperial Tropicals Fish Keepers. It's a group page. You have to answer a few questions, and then you send in the join request, and we look at it. We make sure you're not a spammer, or we actually got a lot of sellers that are trying to get in the group. Several have snuck in, but you know, and I don't mind other sellers, but don't go on the Imperial Tropicals Fish Keepers group page and try to be sneaky. We're there for a community purpose. I don't mind, sell all the fish you want on your page, but I find it kind of disrespectful when people are trying to backdoor us on that page. So keep it respectful. So Ahmad just mentioned that it's also on the main Imperial Tropicals Facebook page. The group is. So Will says all the love in the group is unreal. I agree, Will. Man, it's been great, man. I really enjoyed it, and it's worked out even better than I anticipated. And Joseph just reminded me not to forget Thomas Collins, who is also one of our moderators. Tom is, in fact, the first two people I asked to be a moderator was Tom and Ahmad, because I've got to know them really well. I got to meet Tom in person at the Aquatic Experience last year, and as soon as I thought, you know what, we're going to do a group page, I said Tom's got to be a part of it. So Tom is awesome. I really really enjoy him being on the page. Everybody's asking about Oliver. Oliver's not here, but I'm sure he will watch it afterwards or be on the group page. Giovanni says it was a great idea on the Transformation Thursday. Saw some great posts yesterday. That is great because, man, I can't tell you how many emails we get when people order a 2-inch peacock and they're mad and they say, why is my 2-inch peacock not looking like the picture? And every peacock and hat that we sell, we put it in the description that if you're ordering juvenile fish, unsexed, they're not going to look like the picture. The picture is an adult male in full breeding coloration. So the Transformation Thursdays that you guys have been doing on the group page has really helped people say, "Oh, you know what? My fish when it came in had just a little bit of color, but I'm going to be able to watch it, turn into something really, really special." So, Ahmad saying, yeah, he saw some of the reviews online. Yeah, we got, of the few negatives that we have online, it usually comes back to why is my 1 inch fish not showing full color, Um, Dr. Jade's asking, do the cranes that we showed off a couple weeks ago eat the fish? Nope. The whooping cranes, hooping cranes, I got corrected on that, do not eat fish. They eat bugs. So, and they are permanent residents. I say permanent. They come down for about 3 or 4 months every year, and then they move on. But usually they have the mating and the breeding going on, and then they move off. So Ahmad says, "I see you, Jacob."
Oh,
David Patton saying, "Bye, Frontosis. My transformation will take a while." Um, it's not that long for them to really start looking stunning. At 2 inches, yes, Frontosa will not be, that colorful, but at 3 and 4 inches, you'll be like, wow, those colors are popping. But you're right, you won't get to see the big hump on the head, the males and stuff like that until they get 5 or 6 inches. So, um, gladiators asking, what's up with the Dovi. So my phone overheated when I went in the greenhouses. That's where the Dovi are. You could go through our YouTube page. I don't know which video it is, but I've showed off the Dovi a lot. So, unfortunately, I don't know which Fun Friday it was. We do have a video of us seining in Dovi. So if you want to check out the video of us bringing in the Dovi from the pond, I would recommend seeing that video because you get to see the strain and the breeders and all that. Lone Wolf is asking about green tears with a blue trim instead of orange. No blue trim green tears. I don't know that I've seen a blue trim. I know I've seen the white Psalm and then the orange, but I don't know that I've seen the blue. David Patton's asking if we add salt to aquifer, is it high in mineral content? It's very high in mineral content. It's perfect for hard water fish. Softwater fish, I have to use RO. Do we add salt automatically? No. But usually when we bring in fish from the pond, we will put them through a salt bath. So, so we do use quite a bit of salt in those circumstances, but it's not permanent salt. You don't want to raise fish in permanent salinity. Um, you know, I don't know that I've seen you know this happen, but it's well known in the industry that guppies in Asia are raised in a high salinity, and when they come over here to the U.S., if they're not kept in that high salinity, they have problems. So, Lone Wolf says he has a male blue trim, and when he's stressed out, it goes white, but he feeds all those colors pop and turns blue. I like to see pictures of it. Go on the group page and post up a picture of him. I always like seeing interesting differences in fish, and it happens quite a bit, that you see just really unique markings on the fish. Um, Lori says, watching on the big screen, Fun Friday, doing water changes. On the 27, Gladiator says that he got two sick Dovi, and I said on the 27, you sending me two new ones. I think they've already shipped out the two new ones to you yesterday. If you're in Florida, I know we had a reship from some Dovi that came in and they had sunken belly. And Will Bonna, this goes back to you. This customer had the same thing is or similar, I should say. The Dovi came in and they were really sick, so it's something that we didn't see on our end, but the stress of shipping brought it out. And in the customer's tank, the Dovi were not looking good. He did a good job keeping us updated on the fish when they arrived. And afterwards, we ended up shipping two new dovi at no cost. You know, like I said, if it happens, I send out a lot of fish. They don't show up in good shape. All we ask is for you to let us know once the issue is cleared up. You're getting either new fish at no cost, or we'll give you your money back, whichever one you prefer. Um, no, let me see, Gladiator. So if that's you, you should have got the tracking number. If not, email Rochelle, but I know she sent them out yesterday, I believe. But email us. I don't take care of the orders, but I do remember some of the Dovi that we sent out last week to a customer did not ship well, and I know that we reshipped them. Dr. Jade for the donation, man. I appreciate that, Dr. Jade. Thank you. Mike's or Mod's asking Mike, maybe we get a weekly video on your camera in the greenhouse so you don't have to net up and worry about phone getting overheated. I do have plans for that because if I just shoot straight video, the phone doesn't overheat. It's when I go live, the mechanical parts in the iPhone get really hot because they're working hard, and then in a hot environment, it overheats. So I think if I just shot video and then uploaded it, I think that's a good idea. And I've talked about it. It really comes down to time. I don't have a lot of it, but I am working on doing it. All right. Gladiator says, "You real cool guy. I stand behind you and your company. Appreciate it, man. You won't ever find me do somebody wrong, man. I always do right. Always do right." So PSG17SG says he finally made it. Anthony Theo, cool, man. I know you're on the Facebook group too, Anthony. Appreciate it. Whoops, saying Android. I used to have an Android and I really liked the iPhone, but man, this is frustrating to have it overheat like that. Um, all right. I know I missed some questions, guys. So I tried to do my best to answer them. Mr. Savage asked about MOBAs. No, we don't have MOBAs. I used to have MOBAs. Derek, you guys, if you guys know way back in the day, Derek, my boy with the dreadlocks, looking like Bob Marley. Derek was taking care of the MOBAs one day, and I had him in the 180, and he left. He was doing a water change. He left the water on, and it killed my MOBAs. It killed my MOBAs. So I was really sad. It took me a while to get over it, um, but it happens, man. It happens. So Derek actually came by 2 days ago, and was getting some fish for his tank. So Derek's a great dude, good friend of mine. Uh, Will Bonna, man, I appreciate that, Will. Man, yeah, I hate seeing people when they have trouble with their tanks. And I saw your post come up about the fish, and I wanted to try to help you the best I can. In the future, I keep saying in the future, I'm going to do some videos on how we take care of these fish behind the scenes. It happens. You got to be ready for it. I mean, I've known breeders that had research systems that were just perfect conditions, had the same fish in there for many years, never added new fish, and then all of a sudden they get an outbreak of ick. And we've had long discussions on how did it happen. No new fish got added. Did the ick lay dormant for that long until it had an opportunity to pop up? That's what we believe happens. So I don't mind helping. So keep me updated on how your fish do. That general cure is something that I see a lot of our customers use with good success. Um, we personally do not use any over-the-counter medications. We get the stuff in the pure form, and we treat our fish with that. But we can't sell it because there's just too many regulations. So that's why when we hear about medications at work, we kind of tune in and say, hey, people are having good success with the general cure or whatever the medication might be. So good luck with your tank. So Fish Tropic says temp flux could bring out the outbreak. I agree. That is usually some type of stressful situation is usually what brings out the issue. It could be, even when you do a water change, if your incoming water is not, ideal, then it could really stress the fish out. For you guys that wanted to see the OB, here's some old photographs of our strain of OBs. These are ones that actually never made online because these are the raw pics. There's the female. That's another nice one. So, um, yep, Fish Tropic. It is interesting because the guy that had it, he was actually breeding South American fish. He had discus. He had L46s, 333s. He had some geos breeding in the tank, and like I said, they were all, man. Look, those pictures were awesome. I remember when I took all these pictures, I was like, man, which one did I choose for the website? Because they were all like really stunning. In fact, that might be the one that's on the website. So um, that day was one of those days that every picture I took, because these are all the originals, every picture I took was like a stunner. I was like, wow, it's hard to pick the best one. So, well, guys, it's been real, and I appreciate all the support. The donations were amazing. Um, wow. So I'm going to post on the group page and give you guys a heads up on what I have planned for the group, and it's a lot of exciting stuff. So you guys have a great weekend, and we will talk at you next Friday. So thank you. All right, how do I get out of this? All right.